Good morning. It's April Braswell, and then it says I'm live here. If you are able to see me, then go ahead and press comment in the chat. Let me know that you're able to see this because right now it shows that I'm live and I am not seeing anything. So if you only know, let me know that. If you do see me, please let me know that as well too. And I'm going to go ahead and even if you can't see me, I'll at least do audio today. And welcome. I'm April Braswell. I'm Newport Beach's top quit smoking. I focus on accelerated positive change here in the beach cities areas of Orange County, and I work with clients worldwide. It's kind of fun. Sorry, yes, I still have morning voice, and I'm delighted that you're here. Today, I'm going to be talking about a subject that a lot of people have heard about, but surprisingly few people actually truly understand: hypnosis. And more specifically, how hypnosis works, what it is, what it's not, and why there are so many misconceptions that continue to exist around it. And then pop in the chat, of course, have you ever experienced hypnosis yourself? Have you ever worked with a hypnotist before? I have clients who come in who worked with someone years ago. So maybe some of you have experienced hypnosis, or maybe you've attended a Las Vegas hypnosis stage show. And then some of those fun around here in Orange County and Los Angeles, there's the county fairs, and they often have a fun hypnosis show. So let me know if you've attended one of those hypnosis shows at one of the county fairs in LA, San Diego, or here in Orange County. Have you ever seen hypnosis on a TV show in some way, or ever wondered, was that real? And then pop it in the chat and let me know. Pop it in the comments now if you've ever wondered, can hypnosis really help me change something in my life? And then can it help me with confidence? Can it help me with habits? Can it help me with emotional healing? Can it help me with my spiritual development? And lastly, can it help me finally create those changes that I really want to make? Because if you're wondering any of those things, then you're exactly in the right place. Today, I'd like to separate fact from fiction and help you understand what's really happening when someone experiences hypnosis. And you'll hear different things, different terms. When sometimes people will refer to it and be talking about it as being entranced. You're in trance. Other people will discuss it. I know Tony Robbins will often talk about things as being that the state that you're in. Those are all variations of hypnosis. So today I'm going to educate a bit first here, answer some questions and FAQs about hypnosis. Feel free to pop your questions into the chat. And then if you're here later on the replay, comment replay, let me know. And then even if you're watching on the replay, pop your questions into the comments and I see those, and later I can address them in another live or I can address them in a video. So let's go ahead and start first with the biggest myth of all. Myth number one, hypnosis is mind control. This is probably the most common misconception. People imagine somehow that a hypnotist takes over their mind and makes them do something against their will. They've shown that in things like those fun old Hollywood movies and even in these recent TV shows like CSI and its spin-offs. I've actually seen a number of episodes where that was the case. The crime happened because the person had been hypnotized. And it's fun on the big screen in Hollywood and TV, but that simply is not how hypnosis works. And in fact, hypnosis requires your co-participation. And I often describe it as, I'm the mountaineering guide. You are still taking the hike. You cannot be hypnotized, cannot be made to do something you genuinely do not want to do. You remain aware. You remain capable of making decisions. You remain capable of opening your eyes and ending the experience whenever you choose. What hypnosis actually does is it creates a state of focused attention. Now, that's a simple description, but it turns out that focused attention is incredibly powerful. And think about a movie you've become really absorbed in. You know, you're sitting in a chair, maybe you're eating some popcorn too. You know it's a movie, yet your emotions respond as if it's real. You laugh, you cry, and you become excited. You become nervous, And your conscious mind knows one thing. Your conscious mind knows this is fiction, but your subconscious mind responds to something else. And that is a form of natural hypnosis. And in fact, our minds go naturally in and out of hypnosis and that suggestible state throughout different times during the day. Another example is that's very common, especially here in Southern California with all the driving that we do. Have you ever driven somewhere and suddenly realized, I don't even really remember the last 10 minutes of this drive? If you saw a billboard, you passed it on the freeway, and you could say, I know it was like a dentist or a doctor or something, but I couldn't tell you who it was. You were paying attention, yet part of your mind was operating automatically. And again, that is a natural occurring hypnotic state. Hypnosis isn't strange, it's actually something human beings experience every day. And now let's talk about the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is responsible for many of our automatic behaviors, habits, patterns, emotional responses, beliefs, preferences, learned reactions. The subconscious is not bad. It's actually trying to help us. Its primary job is efficiency. And if you had to consciously think about every single action you perform each day, you'd be exhausted. So the subconscious creates patterns, and these patterns become automatic. And that's wonderful when the pattern is beneficial, but it's less wonderful when that pattern is one you like to change because it was always sensible, it was very good, it was very smart when you first formed that pattern. It was often responding to something from earlier in life. And one of the phrases that I use, and you might have heard this kind of idea before, is that we use the phrase that this is something, we don't use judgy words, this is something that no longer serves me. And I work with a lot of fellow Christians, and we often use the phrase of this no longer blesses and serves me. And we are using kind of a prayer motif. You're using the science of your unconscious mind for making changes consciously to your subconscious patterns. Second. Thank you. And then, yes, oh, I can't see the chat, but I know people are here because it says so. So I'll catch all that later. This is the first time I'm doing a live in a while. So thank you so much. So the conscious mind says, I want to change. And the conscious mind, and here's the catch. The conscious mind says, this is familiar. And familiar will often win. And that's why willpower alone can feel exhausting. You're trying to force change against an established automatic pattern. Hypnosis creates a different conversation with the subconscious mind. Instead of fighting it, and instead of forcing it, instead of criticizing yourself, you begin working with it. And that's one reason hypnosis often feels surprisingly gentle. Many people expect hypnosis to feel dramatic. In reality, most people say, that felt relaxing. It felt natural. It felt peaceful. It felt kind of familiar. And a lot of people describe when they're making that change, they say, I don't understand what happened, but I feel different. Because it is. Now let's address another common question. What does hypnosis actually feel like? And the answer varies from person to person because some people feel deeply relaxed. Some feel calm and focused, and some feel lighter. Some feel very aware of everything happening. Most people are surprised by how normal it feels, yet a little different. Some often expect some magical sensation, and wouldn't that be fun? And it does feel really quite yummy. And instead they discover, oh, I felt something like this before. Because they have. Remember those moments of being absorbed in reading a book, a movie, a daydream. Those are related experiences. Now, another question I often hear: why does hypnosis work for some people and not for others? And the answer might surprise you. The best candidates for hypnosis are not people with weak minds. Often they're very intelligent, creative, imaginative, focused, and engaged. Hypnosis is not about being weak. It's about being able to focus attention. And I have someone who's trying to join. So let me see if I can share that over to him, and let just take a moment. There we go. And that should help. And thanks for letting me know, because I know a number of you came in and registered through Eventbrite. Thank you. So I'm hoping the video shows, because on my side, I'm only seeing that I'm live. So I'm going to continue. So hypnosis is not about being weak. It's about being able to focus your attention. The more someone participates in the process, the better their experience tends to be. And now let's address stage hypnosis, because this is really where it is. Many people have seen stage hypnosis. They've seen the hypnotist, and someone's clucking like a chicken, or those fun, silly things. Someone forgets their name. Someone does something silly. And people assume that's what all hypnosis is. Now, stage hypnosis, okay, yes, it is. It really is hypnosis, but it's entertainment. The volunteers on stage already raised their hands and said, I want to have fun. I want to participate in what's going to be a fun experience. And so the hypnotist selects those people who are responsive and eager to engage in the experience. Now, clinical hypnosis and transformational hypnosis are very different. The goal isn't entertainment, although you might have a little fun with it. The goal is helping someone create meaningful change, confidence, freedom from habits, stress reduction, personal growth, greater emotional resilience, and that's a very different objective. Now, let's talk about why people seek hypnosis. I have people where they find me online, or where they've been referred by a doctor or by a friend from a previous client. People often come because something in life is feeling stuck. Maybe they've tried other approaches, many approaches. Maybe they've read some books, they've taken courses, and they've made promises to themselves, yet somehow they keep returning to the same patterns. Hypnosis helps explore the deeper layers underneath these patterns, not because you're broken, but because the subconscious often operates according to old programming. Now let me check, as the people who are trying to get in, okay, good. I can see some responses there. So I'm so glad you made it. We're already in the middle of the process here, of where I'm explaining about some of the things about hypnosis, how it works, how it doesn't work, and answering some of the common, frequently asked questions and misconceptions that are out there. Old programming can be updated. I'm so glad. Thank you for confirming that you can hear me. And then can you pop in the chat? Can you see me? Because I've turned everything on, but from my side here, I'm not seeing the screen displaying me being in live. And so I'm wondering if it's showing a live video, and it might not be, but hopefully at least the audio is good. So the good thing is, because old programming can be changed, it's encouraging, because it means real change remains possible. No matter how long you've been doing something, no matter how many times you've tried before, no matter how discouraged you may feel, change, real change, remains possible. Now, before we wrap that up, I'd like to give you a brief experience. And this isn't formal hypnosis. It's simply a relaxation exercise. And I know some of you just came in a minute ago, so I'm just going to give you a minute to get settled in and just explain a little bit about what I'm going to do and so how it's going to be. So this is a kind of hypnosis, but it's a very, very light one, just so you get a little bit of a sample, a little taste that I like to describe it. And then simply find a place where it's comfortable for you to sit. And of course, my first warning is don't be operating heavy machinery. Don't listen to this while you're driving or doing something like that. Do this where you're sitting at home or you're sitting in a chair where you can give this your full attention and go ahead, get where it's comfortable. Sit in an upright position, or if you're able to, lie on your bed, lie on your couch, and just simply start to notice your breathing. And take a slow breath in. Fill and expand your lungs, feeling so very good. And go ahead now and exhale, relax. Exhale gently. And now take a second, very good breath in. Really fill and expand your lungs. Notice how good it feels to breathe. And then softly, gently exhale, blowing out through your mouth a little bit, going, and notice how your body is relaxing. Notice the support beneath you. Notice the sensation in your hands. You might notice almost a little tingling sensation or something like that in the palms of your hands. Notice the sensation of your feet, how they feel if you're barefoot, if you're wearing your shoes or sandals, how your feet feel. Are they placed there on the ground? And now notice the rhythm of your breathing. Right now, you don't need to change a thing. Simply observe. And as you breathe, imagine letting go of a little tension, a little pressure, a little effort. And notice that for just a moment, there's nowhere else you need to be and nothing else you need to do. Just in a fast manner, I'm down over 50 pounds now. And so this is actually becoming more of aware of the power you already possess. I thank you for joining me today. I'm sorry if there are some problems with the live. I will get used to it. We'll practice doing that in the next few days, and I'll practice some other ones that are some short ones so we can work on any glitches. And then most of the time, I have folks who want to learn more about how hypnosis can help with a specific goal. You're welcome to reach out. And if you have questions, I'd be delighted to answer a few. I always like to mention that people who have some concern before doing hypnosis, when I have new clients who come in, often it's where a friend recommended it to them. And they tell me, I thought hypnosis would feel kind of a little bit strange, and it actually felt natural. And so if you're someone where you want to do more below, play, and I can reach out, we can do things together. And then, of course, I always share how to connect with me in the comment description after the video later. Have an amazing, powerful day. Thanks for joining me today.